Help me reach 6,000 subscribers. Drop a like on the video and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you. I never thought one ordinary Saturday night would tear apart everything I believed about my marriage. My name is Ethan. I'm 39, and I've been married to Leah for 12 years. From the outside, we looked flawless, a warm home in a quiet area, a predictable rhythm, and what I assumed was mutual respect. But living under the same roof isn't the same as truly living together. I was about to learn that in the hardest way. Leah had always been the social type, the kind of woman whose laughter filled a room. I admired that, even though I was more reserved, more steady. I worked in logistics, wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty, but I also remembered the details, the dates, the birthdays, the small gestures that made life feel shared. Or at least, I believed they did. The problems began months ago, quietly at first. A late return here, a missed call there, excuses that sounded harmless, and I accepted them because I trusted her. But that night, there was no denying it anymore. I was on the couch checking work emails when her message popped up. Just a quick text, heading to the Velvet Lounge. Out with friends. Don't wait up. I didn't respond right away. I trusted her, and I didn't want to sound controlling. But something about her tone felt off. Detached. Cold. My stomach tightened, and a lingering worry crept in. This didn't feel like a simple outing. I tried calling her. No answer. Twice. My pulse picked up. Leah wasn't the type to go silent. On the third call, I heard her phone ringing faintly from behind the bedroom door. She hadn't even left. Panic and disbelief collided. I walked around the living room, trying to calm myself. Maybe she changed plans. Maybe her friends were already there. But the anxiety wouldn't go away. Hours dragged by. Midnight passed. And then, almost like it was time to hit the hardest, she finally walked through the door. Leah's hair was disheveled, her makeup smudged, her eyes shining with that reckless sparkle she got when she'd been drinking or laughing too much. I opened my mouth to speak, but she got there first. "Ethan," she snapped, voice cutting through the room like a blade. "I'm done with this life. Just divorce me." I froze. The word slammed into me like a blow. Divorce. Out of nowhere. It felt like she tossed away 12 years with the flick of a careless wrist. Anger rose in me, sharp and sudden. But beneath it, something steadier began to surface. She wasn't crying, wasn't shouting from pain, she was testing me. Daring me to react. And in that moment, something inside me clicked into place. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I looked at her calmly, steady and grounded. "Leah," I said quietly, "if that's what you truly want, then I hear you." Her eyes widened. Confusion flashed across her expression. She'd expected a meltdown, tears, panic, rage. What she got instead was stillness. Certainty. I didn't move toward her or raise my voice. I let the silence stretch between us. For a second, she simply stared, as if re-evaluating everything. Then, barely above a whisper, she said, "Wait, what do you mean you understand?" I inhaled slowly. "I mean I've spent years loving you, respecting you, and trying to make this work. But if you've already made the choice to give up, I can't force you to stay. I'm not angry. I'm just done living under the threat of resentment." I watched her confidence collapse. Her mouth opened, but the words stumbled. Her hands trembled as she played with her coat. That night, I learned that quiet strength hits harder than any argument. Her certainty cracked, replaced by something vulnerable. Almost instinctively, she took a step back, her voice wavering. "Ethan, I didn't mean." I raised a hand gently, letting her know I was listening but not negotiating. The air grew heavy, the kind of tension that forms when someone finally realizes they've misread you. And then I saw the shift. The defiant woman who barged in threatening divorce now stood uncertain, recognizing that the man in front of her wasn't desperate anymore. He was done breaking himself to keep someone else comfortable. Her bravado melted into something else, uncertainty, maybe even fear. She wasn't used to seeing me this way, steady, unmoved, self-assured. In her mind, I was supposed to chase her, panic, crumble. But I was past that. My worth wasn't up for debate anymore. She moved toward the couch, tugging at her sweater sleeves. Ethan, I didn't mean it. I thought. You thought what? I asked, voice calm but unwavering. That yelling would corner me. That throwing around divorce would make me fall apart. Her lips tightened. I half expected her to storm out again, reclaim her defiance. But she didn't. She froze. The energy in the room shifted. The night she thought she controlled now belonged to the quiet strength I held. A simple truth hung between us. I wasn't afraid. I stepped closer, not to intimidate her, but so she could see that I was fully present, clear, grounded. Leah, I said softly, I love you. I always have. But love doesn't mean accepting disrespect or empty threats. It doesn't mean living on edge wondering if one night out will shatter everything. Her eyes widened again. Realization washed over her. This wasn't a man begging. This was a man speaking truth. And in that truth, she had no power. Ethan, I didn't, she started. I shook my head gently. Stop. Just listen. I'm not angry the way you think. I'm disappointed, yes. But mostly, I'm done letting fear or manipulation dictate my peace. If you want to walk away, that's your choice. But your decisions won't define my stability. Her arms fell to her sides. The spark she always carried, the boldness that once drew me in, faded, replaced by something fragile. Recognition. Maybe even fear of losing me. I didn't mean to scare you, she whispered, almost pleading. I exhaled slowly, stepping closer again, not as someone ready for a fight, but as someone standing firmly in himself. It wasn't fear, Leah. It was about respect. Boundaries. You can make choices, you can have a life. But you can't expect me to chase you, beg for you, or shrink to keep peace. Silence settled between us, thick and honest. I watched her struggle with the absence of drama, trying to grasp a situation she never saw coming. Then came the turning point. She flinched, barely, but noticeably, when I reached for the car keys on the counter. I picked them up and said, calmly, I'm going for a drive. Clearing my head. Don't wait up. Her reaction was instant. Wait, Ethan, don't leave like this, she blurted, panic rising. The swagger she walked in with had vanished. Realization hit her. I wasn't chasing her. I was choosing myself. I looked at her, steady. I'm not leaving because I'm angry. I'm leaving because I'm aware. Aware that respect isn't optional. That love isn't a bargaining chip. That boundaries matter. She rushed toward the doorway, stuck between pride and desperation. Ethan, I didn't mean it. Please, stay. Let's talk. I paused, keys in hand, letting the moment settle. The weight of everything hung between us. I hear you, Leah, I said quietly. But some lessons don't need repeating. Respect is earned, not demanded. And right then, I saw everything change. The woman who once walked with fire in her steps now moved with urgency, almost fear. She'd expected chaos from me. She got clarity instead. And clarity was far more powerful. By the time I opened the door, she was there, pale, hesitant, waiting. The night that began with shouting and reckless threats ended with a truth neither of us could ignore. Calm certainty carries more force than any argument. As we stood there, a quiet understanding passed between us. I realized something important. Sometimes the strongest response isn't rage, retaliation, or revenge. Sometimes strength is simple. Stand firm, value yourself, and let the consequences of clarity speak louder than words. Leah didn't run back to the club. She didn't laugh it off. She stayed, caught in a realization that would change everything about how we understood each other, and how love, respect, and self-worth would look from that day on.